social/religious norms aside, how would you like your death to be mourned/celebrated? New Orleans has a tradition of marching slowly to the graveyard, mourning, then a ceremony and a dancing jazz party on the way back to the church, where food and drinks are. The party continues from there. I've always thought this is good psychology minus mourn, but celebrate also. I have a tendency to be late for a lot of things. When I die, I would like one of the following said about me at the service, and written on my tombstone. If I outlived the average life expectancy age, late for death, as he was for most things in life. If I died before the average life expectancy age, finally, something he wasn't late for. I want to be dropped like 500 or so feet from the sky, and wherever I land is just a surprise. I'd love to placed in a wooden ship soaked in gasoline and pushed into the sea while an archer shoots a fiery arrow from the bay. The people will then mourn me watching my ship on fire and crumbling into the sea while a bagpiper plays sad Irish music. Then, after a while, people will start questioning the Irish sad song since I'm Italian, but I will be gone forever not to be bothered by them. I always thought that I wanted to be cremated and my ashes spread into the ocean on a full moon. Now I'm thinking, just fill my belly with seeds and bury me in a forest, so I can become fertilizer for the trees and flowers and have some trees and flowers grow out of me. The coffin dancers carrying my grave, and dancing, while playing Vicetone, Astronomia in the background. I want my body to be cured, stuffed with candy, and hung from the ceiling so the funeral guests can beat the candy from my dead body like a pinotta. I'll put the fun in funeral. After my death, just throw me in the trash. John Cleese at Graham Chapman's funeral, https://www.youtube.com/watch, v=skidn6ek, is probably one of the best eulogies ever. I would love if a friend of mine did something in a similar vein when I kick the bucket. Edit. Grammar. Joke answer. Tattoo a treasure map on my body for my loved ones to follow and discover that the true treasure was the friends we made along the way. Serious answer. I'd hope that my body would be put to use as efficiently as possible. Organ donations. Leftover parts given to science. Leftovers to be burned/buried/eaten. Whatever works for the survivors. I'm not using my body anymore. Then a small gathering, with food/music/fun, where people take turns coming to the microphone and sharing a memory they have of me. No big eulogies, no mountains of flowers, nothing big or fancy. Just my loved ones remembering me, and my love for them, for a little while. I want my remains to be scattered over Disneyland, but I do not want to be cremated. I want to become a tree. I don't want my family going broke after I die. If my first choice isn't an option, I want them to do something sustainable and affordable. I want Another One Bites the Dust played at my funeral. I don't know if you are supposed to put joke answers here, but there is a type of funeral where instead of it being sad, everyone there celebrates the fun and crazy times they had with you. Play a Kahoot with questions about my life. The person that wins gets my will. I want to be cremated. I don't want to be buried and take up space on this earth, cause I don't see the point. I want all my friends and family to go have a celebration of life at the beach and eat burgers, cause it's my favorite food, lol. I don't want it to be sad. Want everyone to be happy because I lived my life to the fullest and I feel I will be in a way better place. I have a chronic disease and have had a lot of time to come to terms with death. I want my body donated to the body farm with one special stipulation. I want to be put in a car trunk and spring-loaded so that when some hapless grad student comes to check on my decomposition, my corpse pops out at them like a fermenting eyeless Jack in the Box. I mean, I'd just be happy for someone to show up, to be honest. Whatever my family wants. I will be dead. I do not care at all. No celebration whatsoever. I realize my time is almost up, so I hike out to some super remote location where no human has ever set foot before. I lie down and listen to birdsong as I slowly thirst forward/starve to death. My body is scavenged by animals as it decomposes. No human ever lays eyes on any part of my remains. It's all totally natural. Maybe nobody even realizes I'm gone for months or even years. Problem is that it would be really hard to hike to such a location even while healthy, much less while close to death. Make all my friends and relatives do shots while reading through all my terrible tweets/Reddit posts on a loudspeaker while a slideshow of my dogs and the awful memes I made shows in the background. Then they throw me in a shallow grave in a cardboard box. Each chug a bottle of champagne while fireworks go off. At least, that's what I hope happens. Oh, and my wife has one of those sick-ass black lace veils. The ones attached to a too tiny hat. And she keeps saying suspicious stuff about a life insurance policy the whole time. Also, I really hope they get someone cool like a Cajun restaurant to cater. Because everyone in my family is a sheet cook and I want my one friend with culinary experience to be able to relax and enjoy. I would like to be spoken for, like in Orson Scott Card's Speaker for the Dead. Just tell my story. Don't make me into a saint. Don't skip my many flaws. Just explain my life as it happened. Give context, but don't pull punches. Speak of my modest achievements, but don't try to make them more meaningful than they are. Don't overlook my many failures. I have friends and enemies, and I would like them both satisfied with my eulogy. I want my closest friends to drink with my urn, to have one last brew with the boys before I go to the afterlife. Wrap me in burlap and throw my body in a ditch, then forget I ever existed. I want someone to hire a bear from one of those companies that rescues hurt bears and then trains them. Then have that bear be at my funeral, preferably a black bear, because he's smaller and less aggressive than the people who are in on it, a select group of my closest friends. And if I have one at the time of my death, my significant other will walk up to the bear and talk to it like it was a close friend of theirs too. Nothing can be explained to anyone about the bear. As far as they know, I led a secret life where I befriended a bear. That's what I want. Also, all of my Furbies should be there. Oh, I also want to be cremated. I have a fear of being buried in a coffin alive, and cremation should stop that. I want to be fired into the sun. Orgies. I want people to remember me as I wanted to live. I want the funeral from Star Wars Episode 1. I want to be burned on pyre in a Darth Vader costume. I want to have a big-ass party with my body as the centerpiece. I'd want as much of me to be reused as possible, organs donated and all that stuff, and whatever's left be buried and planted under a tree. Alternatively, I wouldn't mind if my body was donated for educational purposes. I have a pretty extensive medical history and have been told by surgeons and radiologists that I have fascinating bones/bone structure. I developed some pretty extreme bone deformities later in life. It's a weird compliment, but I'll take it. Maybe something could be learned from me. I would like to be cremated and have my ashes put into fireworks. I then would like them launched from my favorite spot on the beach so I can touch the sky one last time. I've answered this question like 3 times before on different sites and at least once on Reddit before. I always change it a little bit each time, but I still think it's always amazing. Anyway, I want my funeral to go like this. Closed casket. No one sees my face or body. I hire an actor beforehand to run and yell, "No! I must see her one last time," as they fling open the casket to reveal it is not me, but several raccoons in a trench coat. Everyone will be utterly shocked and confused. In a shadow in the back corner, I will set a recording of my voice to say, so you've discovered that I have faked my death. I have in fact not faked my death. Everything will be in a state of utter chaos at this point. Meanwhile, miles away, my body will be dismembered and fed to forest animals while my skull will be nailed to a tree because that's where it belongs. It'll be metal off. And if I can't have that, I'll settle for a regular Viking funeral. Seems kind of generic, I know, but I'll take it if I can't have that. Tibetan sky burial. My mom can't win if she can't reach my remains. Just dump me in a ditch. There's nothing to mourn /celebrate. Valhalla style. Put me in a big boat filled with wood and diesel and shoot flaming arrows into it. Then throw a party. Have a party. Eat all my favorite foods. Drink my favorite drinks. Listen to all my favorite songs. Tell some stories. Then get on with your life. I will write some credits of my life so I have an original funeral. About my body. Turn me into a lemon tree. Next to a river and a sugar plant. Make lemonade out of me. I told my friends to dress me up as an assassin and toss me from a building. I'm gonna have a nice funeral with a decent number of my friends and family. But I'm not going to have a will. At my funeral everyone, with their consent of course, will be given a taser. Last man standing gets all my shit. I would like to be fed to wild animals, or at least composted and fed to trees. I'm leaving money to have 250 trees planted in a large tract of public open space in my memory. Ashes from cremation will be used for fertilizer minus returning nutrients to the earth. Subscribe, like and comment if you hate outros, begging you to subscribe, like and comment.